All right, welcome to our Back Office Heroes podcast series. With me today is Calvin Rosen. He's a newer employee out of the St. Paul office. So, Calvin, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, I thought we'd start maybe just get to know you a little bit. Maybe a couple fun facts about you. You're a recent. You've been recently married, is that right?
That is correct. Yeah, 3 weeks ago I did.
3 weeks ago, and you went on this like epic honeymoon, right?
Yeah, we went to Denver, flew into Denver, went up to Estes Park and hiked the Rocky Mountain National Park, went down to Breckenridge and over to Colorado Springs and then back up to Denver. And yeah, lots of hiking, lots of walking and sightseeing.
So you're a big outdoors guy, right?
Yeah, I hunt and fish a lot and just like to get outside, golf, and take walks with the dog. So
That's awesome. And English Springer, right?
Yep.
The English Springer, yeah.
Sadie.
Sadie, the English Springer, yeah. Yeah, I had one growing up as well, so it's a great dog to have.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about the role you have at Valmark.
Yeah, so I'm an associate on the policy management company, the PMC, and I kind of do two things. There's the service side of the PMC, and then there's the annual review side.
And maybe step back a little bit. So what is the PMC, the policy management company, and like what specifically is that service overall for advisors?
Yeah, so the PMC is a service where we look at the performance of life insurance policies that are already in force, making sure that they are following the projections on when they were placed and making sure that they perform the way they were intended to.
Awesome. And so what's your specific role within PMC?
Yeah, so I'm an associate, so I do a little bit of service stuff and a little bit of review stuff. So for the service side, we can do lots of paperwork for the advisors, get the proper paperwork sent to the carrier, get all the values for the advisor, and then the review side, after each anniversary for the policy, we make sure premium payments are done, we get documentations from the carrier, and then from there we do an analysis and send off a review to the advisor saying how the policy performs, and then we make recommendations based off of what we find.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I know a lot of. I think we're up to what? How many? Like 6,500 policies now.
I think it's a little over 4,000 right now.
4,000. Okay,
we've managed well over that.
Okay, yeah. So I know there's a lot of people that are getting the benefits of making sure their policies stay on track.
Exactly,
and they can be confident in their plan. Now you started actually as an intern.
Yes.
Right. How long were you an intern? Kind of what was that experience like?
Yeah. So in February of 2022, I accepted a position as an intern on the PMC. And that was a great experience. We do real world work, and it's not just bringing coffee to the boss. You're actually doing real work and presenting cases that can make Valmark a lot of money. So it's really cool just getting that experience of doing the real work and not just typical intern work. So then the transition from an intern to full-time role was actually really smooth. I did a lot of the same work that I was already doing as an intern. So it's just really incredible on how Valmark treats their interns and how they do real world work.
So, I mean, did you even look at any other office while you're an intern, or you're just like, I think I'm going to come
Honestly,
to Valmark?
No.
Okay.
Once I got the offer from Valmark, it was kind of a done deal. I knew that this is a great place to work for, and just really liked the people that I was around and the work that I was doing.
Oh, awesome. So, and when did you transition to a full-time role?
Yeah, so that officially started, so I graduated college the December of 2022, and then started up January of 2023 as a full-time employee.
Oh, that's awesome. So what has been maybe, do you have any like interesting cases you've worked on or like policies you've helped stay on track or make adjustments to?
One comes to mind, so there was a conversion that a member firm or a policy that the member firm came to us and wanted to convert. And we looked at the documentation, and it looked like that there could have been the conversion deadline a few years prior. So we really researched the case and lots of back and forth with the carrier to see when the actual conversion deadline was. And they really didn't want the client to be able to convert the policy.
Of course not.
So we did a lot of back and forth, and eventually got the wholesalers involved, and just our relationship with the carrier allowed for us to prove our case that the policy should be converted. So the client, after it was officially converted, was very thankful for all the work that we did. And the member firm was also really grateful for all that we did to help them out.
How many phone calls do you think you had to make?
A lot.
A lot, yeah.
Probably a dozen, honestly, on that one.
A dozen, wow. I know, like, I get frustrated just even, like, calling, like, tech support sometimes. So I couldn't imagine having to go through 12 calls. I'm sure the client felt a great sense of advocacy for them.
For sure. A lot of back and forth and voicemails even, just to reach someone, which...
Yeah, and you guys are experts in this, right? So even as experts that do this all the time, you had to jump through a number of calls. So someone trying to do this on their own, or maybe even an agent,
correct,
might have had to even make more calls.
Exactly, yeah, and know who to talk to and what to bring up, and ask for the proper documentation is really important too, and that's something that you're right, we're experts in, so it's good to know that we can do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that story. That's really kind of the purpose and the mission of the PMC, is a story exactly like that, right? To make sure that policies stay on track, and if there's something wrong, we can intervene early because we can see it,
correct,
and detect it.
Yes.
So that's really awesome.
Yeah.
What has been kind of outside of the PMC? What have been some of your favorite things about being at Valmark?
Yeah, I would say being an intern, we do lots of intern events. We do escape rooms, and we did a Top Golf event. So just getting the interns involved with the full-time employees is really special. And then even we do some happy hours once in a while at St. Paul too. And I think that's just really important outside of work, just to get together and build that chemistry and relationship, and then bring that to work the next day. And it's a really fun experience.
Calvin, thank you for joining me today. This has been a Back Office Heroes podcast series. Thanks.